welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudy and this is Hattie and we are the berries. Penny's down here too. What is up, everybody? I have a really fun video for you today. It is an updated video. Well, it's not updated. I've never done this before, but I've been doing this recently with brands that I have a lot of makeup from, where I'm doing a full face of one specific brand. We are going through everything, talking about the things I feel like are worth picking up from the brand, things that I feel like you could probably skip. I've done this series with Merit Beauty, Glossier, Kosas, I'm trying to think of some other ones. Tower 28, you know, like all of my favorite kind of brands that I always talk about on this channel, breaking down every single product in the line and talking about what you should skip or what you should pick up. And today, as you can see from the title, we are covering Milk makeup. I didn't realize, I mean, I did realize how high up on my list Milk makeup is on my favorite makeup brands. Like almost every look that I do includes something from Milk, whether that is their bronzer, their blush, one of their concealers. I am a huge fan of the brand, and also I have had the opportunity to work with them on TikTok specifically. So I'll talk about that as we go through each product to let you know like what products I have been sponsored to work on, etc. Things like that. But I realized I own almost, if not every single thing from the brand. I don't have their skincare out here because I feel like that's for another time, and we can talk about that as well. But if you are interested in seeing me apply this final face of makeup using all Milk makeup products from the primer all the way to the setting spray, keep on watching. We will talk about every single thing in detail, and I will let you know what is worth your coin. So if you are new here, don't forget to stick around and subscribe. We talk about skincare, makeup, we do vlogs, we do hauls, we do brand reviews, we talk about Target. Pretty much it's old YouTube around here, but we do new makeup. Come on, that's kind of fun. So I would love to have you subscribe. I am loving this look. I think it looks so fresh and so cute. I actually have a really fun kind of plan tonight. I am helping a friend from my improv class possibly write a sketch comedy show about Nashville. Trust me, I'm severely underqualified. You don't have to tell me, but we'll have to talk about this in like a vlog or something. But I don't want to have too much makeup on for that. I'm meeting a lot of new people and it's going to be like a more casual night. So this is what we ended up with, but I will talk about everything. So let's start with, also I did want to mention, besides actually working with them on some of these products to promote them online, I have been to the Milk Makeup's headquarters in Los Angeles. The last time I visited LA and I was hanging out with Kevin, I had a meeting with Milk Makeup and the team, and guys, it was so incredible. First of all, the team of women that work there are so professional and so smart, highly educated, and just incredibly knowledgeable about the industry. And I learned about the entire history of Milk and how it was actually a photography studio before it was ever a makeup line. And the makeup line was actually created secondarily to help support when people come to the studios and bring their own makeup products. They decided to make their own line so that people could use it in studio. So I thought that was so interesting because I feel like not a lot of people know that. This brand is available on Milk Makeup's website and on Sephora. It is a Sephora exclusive brand. It's not on Ulta's website. Can't get it at the drugstore. And I would say the pricing is like your average middle tier brand from Tower 28, Kosas, the brands I typically go for. That's not exactly luxury, but it's not drugstore for sure. It's somewhere in between. I find the prices to be just about where I'm comfortable continuing to purchase makeup. So I'll have everything linked down below if you do want to shop or find a specific product that I mention here. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, I feel like we need to talk about these together. These are one of the most popular products that Milk created and something that has like put them on the map, and that is their Hydro Grip line. This also comes with a setting spray, or like this line is kind of all three of these, but we'll talk about the setting spray at the end because we did start the look with these two products. So this is the Hydro Grip base, and then this is something I never see anyone talk about. This is the Hydro Grip eye primer. So these are both meant to be used before you go in with your makeup. This primer went super viral because it is the stickiest primer I have ever tried. I will say there have been a lot of brands that have duped out this primer, and the best one that I could think of is the Power Grip primer primer from e.l.f. These are very similar, like if not identical, and I do like both of them. They both work very well, but essentially the job of this primer is to grip your makeup to your skin. If I'm ever doing like a long wearing routine, this is what I go for every single time. It's really light on the skin. It doesn't pill, even though it has more of that gel formula to it, and your makeup sits really beautifully on top. So I'm gonna just spoiler alert, let you know there's not a lot about this brand that I don't like. There's definitely things, and we'll get into each thing, but in terms of the Hydro Grip Lime, they really know what they were doing, and I think that they created an innovative, you know, new line in makeup in general that a lot of people really enjoy. And when you see brands start to copy products that you've created, you know you're doing something right. No one talks about this too much, but this is an eye primer that you can use on your lids, but also under your eyes, which is how I used it today, to help really keep your concealer on your eyes, help from creasing, help from, you know, things migrating if you're not someone who likes to use powder. Essentially the same thing, but specifically for your under eye. It's gonna be more safe for the eye area. I don't find myself using this that much. I'm not sure how much of a difference I really see in my under eyes when I use this product, but I will say I think the primer itself, you could also just bring up under the eye and have a similar effect. But I think this is a good eyeshadow primer as well. And the grip is there, okay? They are grippy. So if you are a person who wears your makeup all day or you go to work or whatever, even if you're just like a skin tint person and you want it to last, pick this up. So I'm on Sephora here because I just wanna make sure that I am covering everything, because Milk has a couple lines of their coverage products, and I am going to be talking about the Sunshine line here today. And the other primers that they have more than what we're just talking about here, but they also have a pore filling primer if that's more of your vibe, as well as a lot of sticks. Like, we're gonna get into the sticks. They have brightening serum sticks. They have oil sticks. They have cooling sticks. Like, the sticks are their thing, and like, we'll get into the sticks, don't you worry. But for our coverage today, we're gonna be talking about these products. So after I went in with my Hydro Grip, the second product that I used was the Sunshine Skin Tint. Now, I don't talk about this product very much on my channel. It also has a Sunshine Under Eye Tint and Brightener that is somewhat in the same line here. One is a concealer and one is a skin tint. I find these to be almost the exact same product. Personally, this might have a tad bit more coverage to it, but they are incredibly similar. I do believe the Sunshine Skin Tint, yeah, has an SPF 30 and the concealer does not. I love the product inside this. I hate the packaging. Hate the packaging. This is one of those like roll-on products, and the actual wand itself is said to be antimicrobial, so it's not going to spread a lot of bacteria on the face, but I just don't find that it's useful, and I would rather have something like a pump or something that I could just spread on the face rather than one of these roller balls. So that's one point against it. Another point against it is that it really breaks up. I wear the shade light medium in the winter and the shade medium in the summer, but I find that I've had light medium longer than I've had my medium, and it breaks up in between like an oil and a product, and it takes a lot of sort of wasting product to get like the fresh, good product up to the top to use on the face. So you can see while I'm rolling it on my face in the video that it has like a little bit of this like uneven texture to it, and I have to use a brush to really blend this in properly. Now I will say this, once it's on, it's gorgeous. I think it's absolutely beautiful when you can actually blend it in, find the right shade for you, etc. Do I think you need both of these? No, I like this line, but I do think that the next concealer I'm gonna talk about is worth your coin more than this one. I do like this product, I like what's inside, but I just wanted to be upfront with you about the application and all of that. And then they also do have a more full coverage foundation stick. I haven't had that in years, so I don't feel like I can talk about it, but that is an option if you were interested in the brand. They do have a more like typical foundation. The star of their most recent launches, in my opinion, is this concealer. I have loved a lot from Milk Makeup, but this concealer really took the cake for me. Oh, also, sorry, I did work on a campaign for the Hydro Grip, so letting you know that. I also worked on a campaign for this concealer, the Future Fluid. This concealer is amazing. So this is like a new, completely different look to Milk Makeup. Like a lot of their stuff is similarly packaged and has like that similar color and vibe to it. This was completely different. The component is actually a nail polish bottle, which I thought was interesting. And I love the packaging. I think it is so gorgeous and very unique. I love the doe foot and I love this tiny little hole in the bottom that really sucks the product out so you're not getting too much. This is a more light medium to medium coverage concealer and I freaking love it. I use this all the time. I actually have it in 4 shades because I never want to not have the right shade on me. I use this constantly. I think it is so good. It gives you, I would say, a natural to satiny, almost dewy finish, but not quite. If you know, you know. Hailey Bieber uses this product. She really loves it. I think you could use this all over the face if you wanted to skip one of these skin tints or a skin tint in general. It spreads beautifully. The color range is amazing. They have really nice options for undertones. It's one of my favorite concealers. That's all I can say. And if you have been around for a while, you know that I have a super tall order for concealers and this one totally fits the bill. It's great. It's one of my favorite higher coverage options that still offer you that like super natural look. Absolutely stunning. Highly would recommend that. All right, let's get into our contour and our bronzing options that Milk Makeup has for you. So we're gonna start talking about a new line that I haven't brought up, 2 new lines that I haven't brought up within Milk Makeup. And one of them is the Bionic line. So this is a line that I feel like is underrepresented in Milk Makeup's advertising. People do not talk about this line hardly ever, and I think it is really freaking amazing. I didn't use a lot of them today in this video, but I still wanted to bring it up as an option because this is their liquid makeup. So they have a liquid Bionic bronzer, a highlighter, which I did use, and then a blush, all in this Bionic line. And I do have a video of me using these that I can have my editor pop in so you can see a little bit of what the consistency is like, but these are very gel-like products that give the most supernatural finish ever. There's not that many options for colors in terms of the highlighters, the blush, really any of them. And I don't think it's a newer line, but it's not talked about enough. I will absolutely say that. But with that being said, I kind of get why it's not talked about because their sticks, their multi-sticks are their hero products, and that is where most of what you would consider Milk Makeup, the line is in the sticks. So that I can see why the Bionic line might be like taken off to the side a little bit. So first things first, they just recently released a contour product. I did wear this today and this is in the shade Stoked. The range for colors are really amazing in this line, but I will say we've talked about this product a couple times now on my channel recently. I apparently was not the only person who had an issue with the little plastic cover accidentally breaking some of the product off, which is super disappointing. Apparently they were pressed too tightly or something like that, and people are having breaking with their products. So just keep that in mind. There is like a little plastic cover that goes on top of these, so when you're taking them off, try and be careful so that you don't break some of the product. Regardless of that, the actual formula of these stick products are out of this world. They are so, so, so good. One of my favorite cream formulas that I continue to go back to, not only because they're really creamy and blendable, but also the finish itself is super natural, satin, not too matte, not too dewy, stays all day on the skin, and doesn't break up or get patchy when used with other products. Like, I really couldn't say enough good things about their stick lines, and if you find something, I'll backtrack on that. I don't love the stick highlighters, and we'll talk about those in a minute, but the bronzer, the contour, or the blush, if you find a color that you enjoy in these lines, absolutely go for it. So like I said, if you're a contour person, their contours are absolutely gorgeous. They truly have that really cool gray undertone to them. So if you're a classic contour person, you will love these. I'm not really a classic contour person, but I like having the option in my collection, and I think that these are a great way to start. The true piece for me that I love is their bronzer. I talk about this all the time, and it is something that I keep in my travel bags constantly because look how little these products are. Like, you've got your contour, your bronzer, your blush, and your highlight, and it's barely the size of your hand. I love how easy and travelable these products are. But on top of that, the bronzers, I think the undertones in the shades are just exquisite. This is the shade Baked. That's the shade I typically go for, although I do have one shade darker as well. I've used the crap out of this thing, and even though it's this little, I still have so much left. If you would believe it, they used to make these in like triple this size, and this was like the travel mini. They stopped doing that, and I'm so glad, because like, you'll never go through this anyways, and if you do, that means you love it. Congrats. It's great. It's absolutely amazing. There's not enough good things I could say about the sticks, really, and that's including their lip and cheeks. So these are the lip and cheek sticks, and they are probably the most popular thing that Milk Makeup creates. The shades that they make in their lip and cheek are absolutely stunning. I'll pop in a picture of the offerings that Sephora has so you can see. I have about 7 or 8 of them, and I love every single shade I have. Today I'm wearing the shade Enigma. This is a newer shade. In fact, I could use a little bit more. This is a newer shade. They just launched 3 or 4 new shades in the line, including this one, and this is like my perfect little nude color. I also have tried on the shade Muse, which is like a really nice dark berry, and I just love them. I could not tell you what my favorite is, because there are so many good wearable shades in this line. Again, super natural looking. None of them have like that chunky glitter in them or look too wet on the skin. They don't break up, and they're just workhorse products, honestly. They work super well on the cheeks and on the lips, which I do have one on my lips as well, so we'll talk about that in just a little bit. These freaking sticks, man, they have me in a chokehold, and they have really cracked the code for like what a cream product should be based at, in my opinion. Like, if it's not these or better, I don't want it. So we've talked a little bit about the stick products in terms of bronzers and blushes, but I did already have a highlighter on when I went in with those. So let's talk about that Bionic highlighter and also the stick highlighter to get a feel for why I actually prefer the liquid highlighter. So in terms of like a color product, okay, so a bronzer or a blush, I want that more satin look that's like skin-like, has a really nice finish, and is a little thickness to it to really stay on the skin. But when it comes to a highlight, I want almost the exact opposite. I want something that is really lightweight, dewy, glowy, glassy, transparent, like naturally plumped skin. And I find that the best way to do that is to use a product that has some slip to it and that has a little bit of that like sheerness to it, which is what I find in the Bionic highlighter. I use the shade Virtual. There's a couple shades here. This one has more of a pink undertone. I think these are best applied with a sponge. However, I did use a brush today. And when I use a liquid highlighter, I always go in with that before I go in with my blush, so that it melts really beautifully into the skin and this doesn't pick up any of that blush I've put down before. So I actually put this on before my blush today, and it's gorgeous. Like, there's no shimmer, there's no glitter, it's just that really glassy-like sheen that I love to see in a highlight with a tad bit of like a pinkish opalish undertone. This is stunning. I need to wear this more often. I don't really love a squeezy tube when it comes to packaging, so that's the only reason I don't find myself pulling this out. If this was in like a doe foot, I would wear this all the time, but because it's more of like this, I just don't. I think this would also be an amazing primer. It's also bigger than both the bronzer and the blush. I don't know why, but the sizing is, to me, a sign that you should use this all over the face if you want to. So that's the Bionic highlight. They do also make a stick highlight, and I know I just was raving all about their stick formula, but I actually don't love their stick highlights. So these are called just the highlighters, and this is the shade Lit. And the reason that I find myself not wearing this so much is that it has those same qualities as these more higher coverage style products, but in a highlighter. So it looks kind of just like, to me, it's sitting on top of the skin instead of melting into the skin. It doesn't have as much of that buttery, soft, silky quality as a liquid product does, because it is more of a hard, compacted cream. Not to say I don't like cream highlighters, but I just don't find myself going for this one. So I have to be honest with you on that one. I do prefer the Bionic line when it comes to highlighters. Woo! Okay, we're cranking this out. All right, next up, we've talked about primers, concealers, skin tints, bronzers, blushes, contours. Eyeshadow is next, and I'm pretty sure that this is the only eye style product that Milk offers. Let me make sure. Yes, okay, so these are the Milk Color Chalk Multi-Use Powder Pigments. I have 3 shades here. I think there's like at least 10 shades. They go from like a champagne, a black, all the way to like a fuchsia pink, a brown, lots of different options. I remember when these came out, I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. A piece of chalk, a piece of chalk. Like, I thought it was so stupid. Let me show you what these look like inside their packaging. This is a pink one. This is in the shade Dodgeball. It's literally a piece of chalk with like the chalk paper around it that you pull off as if you were using chalk. Over time, I have decided that I do actually really like these. These are super metallic. So every single shade is metallic, and they are a really dry powder formula. So you get some like pretty intense coverage with these products. Not only that, but you can actually wet these and get an even more intense look. I have 3 shades. I will swatch them for you. I don't imagine you would ever go through these because they are so pigmented and big, honestly. I have started using this light shade, this light gold shade, which is the one I've used the most of. This is in the shade Hopscotch. I use this as my inner corner highlight, and it is blinding, you guys. Absolutely blinding. So here are the 3 that I own. That's Hopscotch. The middle brown is Double Dutch, and the pinkish shade is Dodgeball. I did wear this shade actually on Valentine's Day, and I really did like it. But at first, like I said, I was not a fan, and after learning how to properly use them and really work them into the eyes, I like these. I honestly do. I don't know if they're gonna be for everybody, you know, especially if you're like a beginner in eyeshadow. You might be like, that's a piece of chalk. How the heck am I supposed to use this? They're also $18, so I would say they're not exactly beginner friendly because you do have to figure out how to properly use them and mix them on your eyes. But once you find a color that really works for you, like I would just go for this one. Like I said, this is in the shade Hopscotch. It really gives you this insane bright effect to the eyes. I've also used this brown shade as a liner before. I like them. It's taken me a little while to come around to them, but they are blinding, just saying. So obviously we had to talk about the mascaras that Milk offers. I feel like they're definitely not known for their mascaras. They're known again for their more coverage style products. And I have mixed feelings about one. I like them both. Let me say that first of all. I like them both, but you guys know that I'm a whore for tubing mascara, so I tend to just choose a tubing mascara over these options, but I still very much like them. So this is the Kush mascara. This is in the waterproof. The original version is in a white tube. This packaging is heavy, y'all. Like, she is a big girl, and this is a another reason I really like Milk Makeup's mascaras is that they are natural bristle wands. This is a big girl wand. Like, she chunky, she big. She's gonna get into every little lash. I have really nice lashes naturally. They're very long, so I can make a lot of mascaras work well for me, and I do think that this works well for me. I know a lot of people don't love it. I like it personally, but again, I do actually like a different one from them more, which is the one I'm wearing today. And this is their Rise mascara. This is one that I did work on a campaign on TikTok. It was probably a year ago. And this is a smaller natural bristle wand that has more of a curve to it. And the reason that this mascara is so cool is that the actual bristles themselves are all sort of like wonky, so that they grab every single lash. And I will say that is something that this mascara does very well. Like, it grabs every single lash because each and every wand in here is like oddly shaped. Does that make sense? This one is definitely expired. Like, I've had it for way too long, but I've been saving it for this video. It also has really cool packaging. It's like plasticky and it's very grippy and easy to use. I prefer this one over the Kush mascara, but honestly, there are so many other mascaras out there that are a lot cheaper that do a very good job on the lashes that I talk about all the time. So if you're interested in them, I do think they're good, but I do think there are other things in the Milk line that are better. And I have to sort of say the same for the eyebrow gel. I would say this is my least favorite product that they make. This is the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel, and I have mine in the shade Herb. I don't think they have a pencil. Let me check. They have a lash serum, and then they just have the gels. They don't have a pencil. So I personally have had this forever and it is just so wet. Like you guys know my favorite eyebrow gel that I compare everything to is the Kosas one, because I really like to get in there with my eyebrow gels and make sure that they're super fluffy and that every single lash has been coated. But if I did that with this product, my entire eyes would be brown from the liquid that comes off of this eyebrow gel. On top of that, I don't find the hold to be anything like to write home about, and the colors themselves are pretty cool toned. I just don't ever use this. I've been saving it for this video, but I would definitely recommend the Kosas one over this one. Also, I think the Kosas shade range for their eyebrow products are outstanding. I don't know, it's just not my favorite. Like I think the mascara and the brows, you can definitely skip them over some of the other things in their line that I feel like are totally worth your money. If this eyebrow gel was like 30% drier, I would like it because it has a nice little wand and it's really easy to use, but it just gets everywhere and I hate that. All right, we are starting to round out this video with our last few products. Let's talk about what's on my lips, which is a duo of the Lip and Cheek in the shade Quirk and another Bionic product that we will talk about, which is the Electric Glossy Lip Plumper. And this is their only designated lip product. So I like to use the Lip and Cheek. Obviously, this is a Lip and Cheek product, but most of the time you're gonna see people using this as a cream for the cheeks. These are amazing lipsticks. Like, true satin lipsticks. For me, the shade Quirk is like the perfect shade. It's kind of like a My Lips but better color. And I also love wearing this at the same time on my cheeks. Like having that monochromatic moment, you could also use these on the eyes. But I did use this as a base today before going in with this product. So these are the Electric Glossy Lip Plumpers. These are plumped with, I'm pretty sure it's a pepper. And here's what I'll say about this. This product doesn't really plump the lips as much as it does make them go literally numb. I'm not even kidding. The only reason that I like this product is this color in particular is absolutely stunning. This is in the shade Charged, and it's like this like perfect like glossy pinkish reddish shade. And so I wear it because I love the shade, but I hate the feel. You can smell the pepper in this product. To me, they were like, let's make this feel crazy and electric, which it does. That's why it's called the Electric Glossy Lip Plumper, because it literally makes your lips feel like they're asleep. Like, you know when your arm falls asleep and it's like little pins and needles? That's what's happening to your lips. Not like a typical lip plumper like the Fenty Heat where they're hot and they feel like pain, or a super cooling lip plumper that makes your lips feel like super tingly and cold. No, this makes your lips feel like they are asleep, numb. If you had to get a lip piercing, I would say put this on before, because you might numb your damn lips out. I'm not even kidding. If you don't like that kind of, I don't even know, there's no way you have had this feeling before unless you've tried this. It is so weird. I don't find myself going for it too often because of the sensation, but the actual product is so good and so pretty. It's a damn shame. Like, if they came out with that without the freaky glossy feeling, I would love it. Okay, last thing to cover in this video. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's been kind of long. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. We're rounding back out with our Hydro Grip line. These two go together like butter and owl. These two go together like frickin' cookies and milk, baby. They work so well together. This is what I used on my wedding day, okay? So if you need that like long lasting, make it last, make it set, look good setting spray, it is this. Not only is this so good at setting your makeup and keeping it from budging, it has the finest little spritzer, and like it just looks and makes your, it just makes your skin look so good. It's not gonna give you the glow like perhaps like a glowy setting spray would give you. No, this is like, I'm locking in your makeup, bitch, it's gonna stay all day. These two together, it's like I'm locking in your makeup and you'll never have to take it off if you don't want to. So would I recommend it? Hell yes, I absolutely love this, and it is one of those like, if you know, you know type of products. I think this is the mini. I've never gone through a mini, but they also have a maxi. Just get the mini, just get the mini. So final thoughts on this full face of milk makeup. First of all, I think it looks absolutely stunningly beautiful. If I have to be honest, you guys know I freaking love this brand. I've talked about them day in and day out on this channel. I love seeing what they're coming out with. I love checking out their new stuff. I love their shade extensions. I just love them. Absolutely love them. So the things that I would 1000% recommend you pick up. The Hydro Grip line, specifically the primer and the setting spray, totally worth your money. Next, I would say is the blush and the bronzer sticks, along with the Future Fluid concealer. Those are by far my top picks from Milk Makeup. If you're going to pick anything up to try out, I would totally recommend at least these three things. The bronzer, the blush, and the concealer. I think you will not be disappointed. Things you could skip: eyebrow gel, mascaras. I would say the cream highlighter you could definitely skip, and then maybe the concealer in the Sunshine line, although I really do enjoy this product. I mentioned it is a little bit finicky. Okay, I feel really good about this video. I feel like I got through every single thing I wanted to say. If you have a question for me about anything we talked about, please leave it in the comments down below. I am always in my comments talking to you guys, and I hope that you find something that you might like out of this video, or that it helped you decide on a purchase you were questioning. So absolutely love you guys, and I will see you in the next video really soon. Bye.